Well, good morning. Bobby Lee here from Hurricane Creek Farms. Looks like we're gonna have a pretty day today. Starting off a little cool. We about 40 this morning. So no frost here, but I do wonder how far north of us you had to go before you run into a little bit of frost. So a bit unseasonably cool, but hey, we always complain we don't get a spring here in the south. I think this year we're actually getting that spring. So, but anyway, got a few things to get done, of course. We're gonna dive right into it. First, if you can real quickly give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, but let's go. Well, as you can see, horses and ponies now fed. We're gonna give these bulls a little feed. Those two bulls, and then we got the two Brangus bulls coming up over there. We get them fed. Just as I'm sitting here thinking, today is April 27th. When are we gonna turn them in? Probably another couple of weeks, like middle of May. When we think about when we want a calf, basically we want to get through the worst of the winter, the worst risk of severe weather before we have calves hitting the ground. We got lucky this year because when we bought the neighbors' cows, we knew they didn't really fit our calving season or have much of a calving season on them. So they were calving in January. We even had some of our own cows calve in January and early February, but that were bred by the neighbor's bull. They weren't bred by our bull in our typical breeding season last year. But now none of that's gonna be an issue. Next year we should have a well-defined calving season, assuming we don't find some other cows to buy, which I don't foresee because we don't have the pasture to support it. We'll have a better calving season that we can dictate. So I really would like to not be calving until like kind of late February. Still very much at risk for having some nasty winter weather in late February, early March, but that's kind of the plan anyway. But yeah, they're content for right now. Today, this morning, first time we don't have to walk down to feed feeder steers. We hauled the last two off yesterday. So we do need to go feed the cats. So we got to make a little walk. A little exercise, not gonna hurt us. All right, cats are fed. So now I was kind of trying to decide, do I want to go ahead and load up feed, head to the other farm, check those calves out. It's 6 o'clock right now. Or I could go back inside, get ready, get the kids ready, get to work early this morning, try to get some things knocked out early there. Today's my day off, which for the last couple of months, just our reality is that we're not taking the day off because, I mean, that's just how it is in veterinary medicine right now. We're so slammed, we're so backed up. We've got a couple of surgeries to do that, because the only time I can schedule surgeries right now, other than 3 or 4 months out, is on what would otherwise be my day off. Help see a few walk-in cases, non-scheduled appointments. But yeah, hope to get all that done. Back home by noon. I think what I'm gonna do is just try to get to work early, get done early, then go check those other calves. Gives me a little more time to spend with the kids in the morning as well. But the dogs are all excited. Sadie, Sadie, you want to check and see if our barn swallows have built their nest back? Oh, they didn't. They didn't. They had the hay packed in there again overnight. I'm not anti-barn swallow at all. I'm just, they know where the absolute worst places to build a nest are. There are 100 nooks and crannies in this barn. I will let them build a nest. There is the barn where we basically feed the cats and store a bunch of junk, the old tractor shed. That one works. The old cow barn, that works. The new hay barn, and that works, but they're wanting to put them behind these sliding doors on both ends of the barn. That does not work. They built them in our garage one year and I let them do it. because I thought, oh, you know, Mother Nature, we love it. And it made a royal mess. So anyway, they just gotta be smarter about where they build their nest. Our other afternoon project, brand new tire. Pretty sure I ran over an old thorn tree. And then, should have been no surprise yesterday morning, flat tire. Obviously it's not completely flat today, but very low on the cattle trailer. It was flat last week. Shocker. Yesterday morning we got ready to use it. It was flat again. We're just gonna pull both those off there. Take them into town. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably just worried about doing that this afternoon. It's not like super imperative that I have to get that done this morning. But anyway, we're gonna let the horses finish eating, turn them out, run into work for just a little while, and then tack all this stuff again this afternoon. Made it back home. It's basically noon now. Never get back as soon as I away from the office as early as I would like. It's like you always have it in your mind, oh man, I may get out of there by 10. Nah, never happens. But you can get your tire off here, your tire off Pioneer, and get them to the tire shop. Got the trailer right under here. I recommend that for anybody who has tandem axle trailers. Just keep it in the toolbox, your truck, whatever. Really nice, fast way to get it up off the ground so you can get that wheel off there. But let's get to it. A weak little cheap impact wouldn't break them loose. Pull bar, I think it's got them all backed off just enough. We shall see. There we go. Oh yeah. Went ahead and loaded up some feed. We'll drop them tires off. We gotta get some gas too. Ethanol-free gas for small engine stuff. The yellow bin there is empty now. We'll see. I think this is actually getting a little low too. That this feed doesn't flow just super well. No, we're still in good shape here, but maybe we'll see it's where it's all where it comes out over there. It doesn't you know, flow down real good. So still plenty of feed in there. I kind of smack the bin on the side every now and then, or shake it just a little to get that feed to come down. But keep the camera rolling. Way if I die falling down from here, there'll at least be documentation of how it happened. But not today, not today. So let's head to town. We'll swing right by and feed the steers. Come on, Sadie! I don't know if I mentioned it yet in this video, but a beautiful day. There is not a cloud in the sky. Warmed up, I think a high of like 72. Like I said earlier, we're actually having a spring. It's like a perfect spring day. It was about 40 when we woke up this morning, but warming up quite nicely. Get a head count on these fellers and get them little feed put out. An even 50 head right here, counting I think 2 down there at the pond. So 15, there's a big group of them. It's kind of like a slightly smaller little pasture. It's fenced off right there. Then we're gonna have to go around and come through the gate. And they may be headed this way, but we'll try to see if we can get eyes on all of them. We're probably about ready to rotate and start heading back to the other end of the farm. I mean, still plenty of grazing in here, but probably some better grazing, some younger, tender, more palatable grasses back that way. Yeah, you can see now right up through there. A bunch of them still in that pasture. Should be about 15 of them. But we'll head back up that way. So yeah, here's these others. You see, there's where we were just feeding them. So of course, when they're in here and they see me driving down the driveway over here, they just come running. But there's no outlet for them to get out of this pasture here. They got to go back up that way. So it's one little design flaw. You know, it'd be easy to correct. I could just put a gate in right here, but I haven't done that. It's not usually a major issue, but sometimes when they're up in here grazing on these little bit of hills, there's only about 4 or 5 acres in here for them to graze, so they're not in here that often. But never fails, some of them do get in here and kind of get themselves trapped on the days when I want to rotate and move them to a new pasture, but we weren't going to do that today anyway. Let's count. We got 1, 2, 3. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we got one hiding out somewhere or something. We put eyes on all 65 yesterday, so I'm not gonna be too worried about it. I'm gonna waste too much time looking for a single stray. More than likely he's up there somewhere laying in the shade. Made it back from the tire shop, got both tires plugged. Actually, they found a hole in the side-by-side tire right there. They plugged. It was actually a bolt right here in the trailer tire. Just a threaded bolt was in there. You know how you pick up some of these things, I don't know. Picked up some ethanol-free fuel because I like to put that at least in the lawnmower. But side-by-side was also out. And farm store called. That's why we got this truck unhooked from the trailer. We wanted to go pick up a pallet, but Gain Smart Stocker Heat Mineral from VitaFerm. So decided to try that one out. That mineral obviously really designed specifically for those stocker steers. You know, obviously they're all black hided. We have a lot of fescue in our forage systems, and so with the heat tolerance concerns created by all that, and two, just the fact that we live in the South and it's gonna be summer before we know it. Decided to try that out. Just see. I don't know if we'll see a true measurable difference in our animals, but we do think that's a really good mineral and we wanted to try. So get these wheels popped back on those two, well, the trailer and then the side-by-side. Get that off there. Yeah, we still got to check cows. Hadn't even done that yet. That right there is just one of the reasons why I like buying mineral in these 1-ton quantities. Hey, use the tractor, unload just like that. It's unloaded, it's stacked neatly, put away. I'm gonna get a roll of hay. Unfortunately, it's time to put out a little hay for the bulls. Having them just in this one pasture paddock, not much of anything out there for them to eat. Partially that's because, or I shouldn't even say partially, in large part because the cows spent all winter out there, so a lot of that was just solid mud until a few weeks ago. But grass is slowly trying to get ahead of them, but we'll put them a roll of hay out there just so they, you know, never go without plenty of groceries. All kinds of examples right there of how I really don't remember how we used to do it before we had a tractor with front end loader. In a matter of about 5 minutes, we unloaded mineral, put out a roll of hay, and then used it to pick up a pallet with the tubs so we could load it in the back of the Pioneer without throwing out our back. So, I mean, we did it in the 12 years plus that we've been here and had cattle here. We've only had a tractor with a front end loader for last 3 years maybe. I'm trying to think, maybe 4. So we put out hay just using a spear on the 3-point hitch. We didn't buy anything by the pallet. So you can do it, but man, it sure does make life nice and easier when you got the front end loader. Checking on everybody out here. I say everybody, about half of them right here. Looking pretty good. Good check, make sure nobody stuck in the creek. Looks like more and more of the calves have made it across. We do have some cows that are in a pasture they weren't supposed to be in, but we'll figure that out, see what they did. But as Forrest Gump walks off. Where is he? Oh, right there on the right. Then, of course, our last video, we talked about Nola. And then we got Woolly Bear, kind of the brown one right about, she's somewhere in there. Like, why do some of them have names, some of them don't? Well, Woolly Bear and Nola have names because they were bottle calves, and that's what my kids named them. Of course, Forrest Gump earned his name recently. You should have watched that video, and you should already know why, but because he had the leg braces. Who else has a name? There's Glitter Pink, which we have a few registered Herefords in here. I don't know, as I think there's more than a few, but most of them I have no idea what their name is. Glitter Pink, again, named by Kimber, and so obviously, how can you forget that name? I guess that's everybody I can think of is actually named. The bulls will probably earn names eventually. Willis wanted a name on the letter and number. That's probably not going to stick, but anyway, just thinking about that. Usually if somebody has a cow that is named, you know, a lot of people are like, all of a sudden, yeah, that's one you're never getting rid of. And that's probably kind of true. Like, Nola we're never getting rid of, even as, you know, kind of worthless as she is. Glitter Pink, Woolly Bear, probably not getting rid of them no time soon anyway. Forrest Gump, on the other hand, him being a bull calf, yeah, we will get rid of him. I'm sorry, Forrest, but anyway, we're gonna ride around. No one was really supposed to be in this pasture. We got 4 cows and then this calf right here that belongs to that cow. So we'll see if we can determine what they have done, where they've come through the fence. Watch out, cow. Of course, we got all these others over here that are wanting through, which at this point I would kind of gladly let them. I don't know. I mean, this bridge is not at all designed for them to walk across, and I don't think they can. I mean, the footing's just not ideal for a hoof. It's our girl Nola, looking good as ever. Yeah, this crew just didn't want to cross the creek, and I don't really blame them. There's our newest calf right over there, H14. Yeah, we can open this gate and see what they do. Yeah, I would like to know where those others got out. They may have just gone over the fence right down here, actually. Yeah, top wire broken there. Yeah, that looks like it. I don't know. Yeah, they went up the bank right over there. Yeah. So that looks like that's where that happened. We'll tie that wire back. Yeah, this crew just not going to be feasible for them to go through right there. But the good news, looks like everybody's in pretty good shape. We were right over there and just be sure there's nobody stuck in the creek. I didn't do like a head count, but the ones we worry the most about, like the newest calf and then Nola, are all safe. I do want to put an eye on the ones that haven't calved yet, even though again we don't know when they will calve and if it will be anytime soon. Let's see. I do see several of them. All's pretty good back here in the pasture, other than cows somewhat being in places they aren't supposed to be. But you get this pallet off the truck, get the truck back hooked back up to the trailer, back it off the little trailer aid and get it back under the barn. Although we do plan on needing the trailer again here in the near future. Actually, my brother called me when he was on his lunch break over at his place. He had all 5 of my steers, I think it was actually the entire group, had gone in his catch pen to eat. And so we could have caught them and hauled the 5 that are mine out of there, but it's had too much going on. Feel like now that they're coming to feed consistently, we can do that anytime. Probably worry about that this weekend. So that may be in our next video, doing some light cattle hauling. But yeah, with that said, it's about 4:30. Need to do a few little evening chores, odds and ends, which Again, doesn't include having to feed the feeder steers. Basically, we put a little feed out for the Lucy and the bulls, in addition to the hay that we just gave them, and feed the barn cats, stuff like that. But may just about wrap up another video for us. We got a lot of odds and ends done today. Flats. That was kind of the theme of the day. Get all the flats taken care of. Hopefully we don't deal with any more issues, at least on those pieces of equipment for a while. They I went ahead while I was at the tire store, got them to order a set of tires for the farm truck because it's badly in need of a set. So just took care of that while we were there. But yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming up. Appreciate y'all watching. Like we mentioned before, if you can check out the Talk Dirt to Me podcast. Also, I guess by the time this airs, I'm also going to have another episode where I joined Logan on his Living Fully Loaded podcast. That's one he does weekly with a guest. I've joined him, I guess that's my third time. We didn't actually end up talking that much farming. We just kind of got off on a few other subjects, kind of gave a farmer, a rancher's perspective on some things. But check out that. That's Living Fully Loaded. I'll have a link to it as well as a link to Talk Dirt to Me. But appreciate everybody watching. We're enjoying the spring weather. Thank you. Y'all remember, eat beef and God bless.